So I thought I'd try to put a video together just to explain competing in strongman in Australia. Try to give a bit of a template in where to start and where to finish. So I'm going to work my way back through the list. So I'm going to start at the top, which is national level competitions, which is like ASA Nationals and Arnold's. The next one down would be state level competitions. The one down from that would be competitions that qualify you at a national level, or sort of any qualifications. Then the next one down from that would be regional level competitions, which is just sort of smaller areas. The one down from that would be in-house competitions, like in-house gym competitions. So ones where, you know, 90% of the competitors are from that gym. The one below that is novice and novice divisions and novice competitions. So working our way back up from the bottom, novice competitions, your first or second time competitor, I would say novice is based on what you can lift. That's what sort of defines you as being novice. If some of the in-house gym competitions or even the regional ones are too heavy for you and you might zero 4 out of 5 events, or it's a bit dangerous, then novice is perfect. But I would say 1-2 competitions max, and then you would move on. A lot of this is just my personal opinion. There's no rules on the matter. Everyone can do whatever they please in any competition. Stepping up from in-house competitions, you've got regional level competitions, which are small areas. So that's where you might get 3 or 4 different gyms, having competitors all come in and try and get like say a town title. Could be, you know, Tamworth, strongest man, for example, or just an area. These are obviously going to be heavier than in-house competitions. Sometimes they're qualifiers for bigger things, it just depends. There's no set rules right now. The next one up would be qualifying competitions, which that mixes in with regionals, but it also mixes in with state level competitions. At the time, a lot of ASA national qualifiers are probably more the regional level, and then some of the state qualifiers have been for qualifying for Arnold's in Australia. State level competitions, typically they would be heavier than regional level, but that's not always the case. In a perfect world, I would imagine state level being the next one up, where multiple regions come together, the top people in each region fight it out to see who's the best in the state, which brings back up to the national level comps, which for me there's only 2 that have all the weight classes, and that's ASA Nationals, Arnold's Australia. The 2 are very different. I would say Arnold's is the bigger one because it's at an expo, there's more competitors, it's heavier, whereas ASA Nationals, it's a lot more athletic based. It's done at a resort, not an expo, so you can throw kegs and you can load awkward objects and you have heaps of room to play, so you can do all those big carries and more athletic events. Whereas the Arnold's, no one's trusting any of us to throw a keg at Arnold's or do any sort of shot put or any awkward object carry, because most of us will drop it on our head, and that's not going to look good from an exhibition point of view. The 2 main comps that I've missed out on because I don't feel like they fit into this ladder perfectly is Static Monsters, which it goes from a novice level, you can jump into it, you can pick all your weights all the way up to an international level, and everyone gets compared together. So it's more like powerlifting protocol, pick your weights. So that sort of encompasses novice all the way through the levels, all the way up to international. And the last one that I haven't mentioned is Australia's Strongest Man, which obviously is a national level competition, but no weight classes. There's also no qualifying process to get there, you just need to prove yourself, which I think is good. I think you need to go out and you need to push yourself and you need to prove that you deserve to be amongst the best in the country at any weight class. Some guidelines that I try to follow, and I think everybody else should try to follow to make things run smoother, is, like I said with novice, once you've done 1 or 2 comps, if you can step up and do a regionals comp or an in-house gym competition, if you know you can do the weights, then you're not a novice anymore. So you can move on from that. If you can do other competitions, you should be doing those, and you should leave the novice competitions for the true novices, give them a better entry. The same thing goes for the in-house gym competitions. Obviously, if you don't want to get better and you don't want to do bigger and harder comps and you're just happy jumping in whenever the gym has a comp, that's fine. I have nothing against that. But if you're somebody who's doing well at a state level or almost a national level, and you're just jumping in regional or in-gym competitions just so that you can win and get an extra trophy, like, I don't agree with that. I think that's pretty poor form. The way around that, like, I was talking to a few people the other day. A lot of people that I talk to, the way they get around that, if they really want an extra comp and some more experience, or just to do events that they haven't done, is they step up a weight class. So that doesn't work for heavyweights, but for anybody else, you know, if the weights are so ridiculously light that you can just do endless reps and you don't have to train for it, then you're not getting any more experience. So you may as well step up a weight class and push yourself if you're going to do that competition. A few people have said that they would like top level and even pro level people to compete against them, because then they get to rub elbows with them and learn from them. I don't think you have to compete directly against somebody to learn from them. I've done comps with some really top level heavyweights and I've learned a lot from them, and we never competed against each other, but we were both at the competition, so we both got to talk and I learned. Another exception is if any regional or sort of lower level comp is really easy for you but it qualifies you for a bigger comp, then obviously if it's a qualifier, everyone's in, everyone wants to qualify, there's no reason to make things harder for yourself. So for now, if there's a qualifying comp, that's what you need to do. It's always going to be hard. Both America and England have probably tenfold the competitors we do, and they've been around for 10 times longer, and they still can't get it perfectly right. So they still have a confusing process, and a lot of people don't know how to qualify or climb the ladder. I think for how new the sport is, and there's not that many people trying to run the show, there's just sort of one or two big names behind whole federations, I think we're doing really well. A lot of people have a lot to complain about, but when I started, which was only a couple of years ago, we didn't have anything like we did now. Like, I never would have thought that a local level comp would have a Fingles finger, or even car deadlifts were hard to come by. So I think the sport's progressing in the right direction. It's getting better, it's getting bigger. Obviously it's getting more complicated as the process is evolving, but it's heading in the right track, and that's sort of the way I understand it. Just my 2 cents that no one asked for, but I thought I'd put it out there. Also, next Sunday, I'm going to live stream Gold Coast Strongest Man just on my Facebook page. Hopefully a few people will want to see it. I've been watching Victoria's Strongest Man this morning. I always like to see what other comps are doing and just what people are throwing down. So anybody that's interested in the sport, if you want to see some big weights go down at Gold Coast Strongest Man, just find my Facebook page. If I can figure it out, I'll post it to Strongman Australia.